Magandang hapon sa inyong lahat, and thus our second match is currently right in front of you. It will be Team Stallions against TARINGBABI, at kami pa rin yung mga kasama nyo dito, no Mochi nga pala, alongside with Salvatore. Kung kanina natin, ang veteran halos nakakasabay naman dito kay Execration. Tingin mo ba nakakayanin ni TARINGBABI na makipagtapatan against Team Stallions?
Yung mga tanungan mo, nakakatakot sagutin kasi talagang may absolute na sagot tayo dyan, pero parang ayaw lang talaga natin sabihin siya with the words na sasabihin natin. No? Pero to sum it short, kaya naman talaga ng TARINGBABI if there are just some limitations dito para sa Team Stallions. No? Pero kasi when has been a match for Team Stallions na nagkaroon nga sila ng onting limitations or hindrances para ma-perform nga nila ng maayos yung gameplay nga nila, every single fight of Team Stallions has always been very close, very dominant, at may talagang high fragger para sa Team Stallions, no. And like I said kanina, no, TARINGBABI needs to really set the pace kagad, no, na talagang kaya nga nilang punterehin yung mga high targets dito for the side of Team Stallions. Kaya siguro, Mochi, mamaya ako na sasagutin yan, o kaya better yet, si TARINGBABI na lang sasagot ng tanong mo.
Mas maigi nga sana, no? Kaya naman, pag-usapan natin kung sino nga ba ang mga tao na most likely maaatasan dito sa TARINGBABI para tumarget noong mga highly needed or wanted na mga players galing dito for Team Stallions. Especially that we have Nakray, El Compe, Jangar, Pentahat, and as well as Protons, where so far Pentahat has been like the primary anchor here that's been solely reliant, especially when it comes to the pickoffs that is needed here for the team and as well as defense.
Yeah, so it's a tough call right now here for TARINGBABI to see them lock in, because this is indeed a match between Team Stallions, and I feel like despite TARINGBABI having this kind of mindset that they can lock in, it's still something that is questionable, to say the least. But take a look at right now. Mochi Makrai will now be out subbing in finally an IGL model here for the side of TARINGBABI. Jimby is now back into the starting lineup, which is a very good addition in my honest opinion. But I feel like with the addition of Jimby, the aggression that we saw from TARINGBABI yesterday from their matches kind of feels like it will be dipping down a bit, because Makrai has been opening up the map from his playstyle and as well as just ability to throw utils that can garner some kills. But with Jimby, I hope that it will be good enough that this substitution will also be justified, that what Makrai did, Jimby can do as well. So yeah, it's a team that has a lot of substitutions apparently, like what Riders and Veteran had during Master Spring. But overall, this will definitely still be a quality of life change for the side of TARINGBABI, because any change for them is very welcome in their open arms. But this is Team Stallions we're talking about here, Mochi. So I do hope that they did make the right move for TARINGBABI to secure hopefully a good half and as well as a good set.
Yes, and that brings us to another factor here. Well, ever since they haven't been able to get the series alongside with Veteran, and they are yet to find that necessary footing in order to gear head-to-head here against of whoever they'll be facing up against here, specifically a PH team. But in exchange for Makrai's absence, I am expecting that Jimby will be bringing something else here for the team. Yes, their aggression will be dipping down for a bit here for them, but I wonder if there will be some additional strategy, something new added here in their playbook that will be introduced now that Jimby is back. And hopefully that we can see that. And it appears that he doesn't have his soju or his favorite drink here alongside him right now, and seems like he'll be operating with a clear sense of mind. And it's nice that we're seeing them smiling right now. But here from El Compe, we have a quick narrative. So the question is, which opponents are you looking forward the most in week 3, and what you can say about them? Well, El Compe said we can't say for sure, but we expect Team Science to be our strongest opponent so far. Their individual skill is top notch, so we'll need to play as a team, and hopefully we can leave our legacy on the stage. And that is indeed the wish that we want to see TARINGBABI actually achieve in this particular matchup as well, Salvatore.
Yeah, that's some strong words here for our friends here at TARINGBABI, because leaving the legacy at the stage with a match against Team Stallions does not end well for a lot of teams with their experience playing alongside STS. But we would love some very strong words here for TARINGBABI. It just shows that they still have that confidence and the competitive spirit to still play at the highest level of CROSSFIRE. But enough of that. I feel like we've already said enough here for TARINGBABI. There's just more to say for now for Team Stallions.
Oh, it's overflowing, Salvatore. The way that Team Stallions have been able to perform, what happened against Execration, and even being able to finally get back on their foot here, going back to that win streak here in our group stage, and how Revenge has been able to show the amount of expertise that he's been able to rack up through the years, alongside his insane game sense in the lobby, especially once that we head into the map of Eagle Eye. Though it is still a question if that would be present later on in our map, Vito, but Team Stallions is still the Team Stallions that we know and love.
Yeah, there's nothing really changing here for Team Stallions, but, some would say it's an upgrade, some would say it's a questionable move, but for me, it's definitely a good fit. It's like putting the square piece into the square hole, Mochi, because Revenge, I feel like his overall effect towards the economy of Team Stallions on their longevity in the mid-round has been very good for them. The quality of life of mid-rounding of Team Stallions, it always has been good. But, sometimes good can be better. And I feel like with the addition of Revenge, his veteran presence, and his ability to hit the sniper on his tender, loving age, I feel like it's still that dominant. He's still that lethal, Mochi. And the mere fact that Team Stallions had acquired a generational talent, yes, generational, in the big year of 2026, like Revenge, is still very much talked about, and I feel like it's justified because that's Revenge. He's like, what, a 3-time regional champion here in the Philippines, an international champion of CFGI 2018 rather. So that right there is a good move that I feel like Team Stallions needs. That veteran that could lead Team Stallions to a championship trophy.
I agree. I mean, despite the fact that, yes, as you have mentioned, everything is still up to debate, we cannot brush off all of the feats and as well as the evidences being laid down in front of us here regarding about how Revenge has been able to perform so far here alongside with the Team Stallions original boys. But let us see who would be showed here for our head-to-head, because this is also a factor that we need to take into account, because Penjahat and Revenge will be the ones present for this particular matter.
Well, it's a rookie year of Penjahat versus the decade-long domination of Revenge. And it kind of feels like, Mochi, we're seeing a before and after of an image here wherein if you're still starting on your rookie year, this is going to what's happened to you when you play good enough CROSSFIRE. And that is Revenge right there on the right side. Take a look at the numbers, Mochi. It's not half even close. Just probably the headshot per kill. But Penjahat wants to use the USP. I feel like Revenge also uses the USP, so there's just kind of a bit of a differential on that area. But I feel like that's the least of our worries. Take a look at the kill per death ratio, Mochi. 1.62 for Revenge and a 0.73 for Penjahat. But here's the thing. Penjahat's KD ratio is not justified because his gameplay does speak a lot of volumes, Mochi. Where in Revenge, it definitely is warranted and justified because that's what you can expect for Revenge on paper. But for Penjahat, you really need to see him play inside of games like the matches series we saw yesterday. So that 0.73 might be low, but his gameplay will definitely be more higher than just 0.73.
That is true, and that is why we are gonna see where these snipers will be enjoying themselves here in our maps. So I guess there will be some respect bands present here. We already have, oh, never mind, we have no New Mexico, no Black Widow, but there will be Ankara, Subbase, and as well as Eagle Eye. No respect bands, just all out preference regarding which maps they wanted to play on.
Mochi, this is not the first encounter that TARINGBABI opened up a map that is very synonymous with the team. Remember the Fervid series? They opened up Subbase and then Fervid picking it. that is the same case here up against Team Stallions. And I can't believe TARINGBABI, why? Why are you going to enter sub base with already some dirt and shovels? Because that is going to be the scenario inside of sub base. And I just feel like TARINGBABI is just here to enjoy the gameplay itself. It's like a golden opportunity. Yes, you might get destroyed, but who will get to say that they share the same lobby with Team Stallions, the number 2 team ranked internationally? So that might just be the case. I'm not speaking in behalf of TARINGBABI, but the mere fact that that map is open is just very, very much a question mark here for TARINGBABI. But hey, at least they got Ankara. But oh, wait, that's also Team Stallions' map.
Yeah, which is kind of a question that we have on our hands. But I feel like they're using the same rationale and thinking or decision thinking or weighing similar to what we have here for veteran earlier on. You know what, like if we're gonna play in a map, maybe let's just choose the ones that we think that we can actually try and catch up with, right? But according to us, here is our predictions just based on the map veto, and our matchup on its own is just 2-0 here for Team Stallions. And I think no one will be surprised just by basing on the experience that we have here for Team Stallions, in contradiction here for TARINGBABI. But I'm also curious what the community pulse has to say about this one. I do think that we will be seeing more TARINGBABI fans. Never mind, it's just 3%, and it's gonna be an overwhelming support here for Team Stallions. And I think they're just basing on the evidences and stats that we have here so far.
I feel like, Mochi, that's like the whole population of Cebu as a region right there on our community polls. That's why the number is very much high here for Team Stallions. But hopefully our Indonesian brothers out there who's still tuning into our live streaming platforms will also be watching the gameplay of TARINGBABI, so that the community polls might just be even for these two teams, Mochi.
True, and I do think that it is also about time for us to introduce our casters here on our desk so they can discuss a bit more about TARINGBABI and as well as Team Stallions. So let us now welcome our casters for this second match. It is going to be Dadum and El. Hi guys, welcome again, El. It's not like we just saw each other earlier on, but do you have like any particular things that you wanted to point out in this matchup of ours?
Not really something in particular, just in general, right? I want to talk about how TARINGBABI needs to step up in terms of their decision making in the mid round. Because much like veterans, right, you can call them the mini veterans, wherein they need a solid foundation at the start of the round to get themselves going, maybe a pick or two from Penjahat and Protons, and then we can go all about the map, right? That's how we see them being competitive in the past few games, but it's the hardest thing to do versus Stallions. If execration was a point to be proven versus veteran, then this is an even bigger point for Stallions to prove towards TARINGBABI that, hey guys, sometimes you need to make your own space, and not just wait for us to give you the space, because we will not be giving anything, not even an inch.
Yeah, that is true. And hopefully that when it comes to mid-round calling and decision-making, now that Jimby is back here, I hope that there is going to be something that will help them cater to that here for TARINGBABI. But how about you, Dadum?
Not much to say for this matchup, specifically for TARINGBABI. I like that they put Jimby in sub out for Makrai, because if you look at the numbers, Jimby is the second highest rated player in terms of KD and KR for that roster. So I feel like TARINGBABI, they're just gonna attempt to learn from Stallions. I feel like this is a strategic map veto. They picked all 3 favorite maps of Stallions. We're going to Ankara, Subbase, and Eagle Eye. And they're gonna put their best riflers in the roster to try and punch it out, duke it out against the individual talent of Stallions. But in terms of expectations, I think that's already said much.
True. I think that's just like giving the best to learn from the best. I guess it's the same thing that we're gonna have here for TARINGBABI. But I guess we can also discuss more about TARINGBABI, because we already saw signs of life, and if there will be some further signs of life here for them, because somewhat they close almost first half for Black Widow. Well, can check that off as a win, I think, Salvatore.
Well, we don't count first half wins as a total win, Mochi, but there's something that TARINGBABI can definitely celebrate is that they secured that huge of a half against a strong side of matches, definitely. Even when they're BL, it's definitely considered as a strong side, so that has to be like a celebratory moment here for TARINGBABI. But still, that is a different team, and this is the team right now that they're facing. It's Team Stallions, which is way beyond. That's like 1,000 levels of matches built into one team. So what I'm telling to you right now, TARINGBABI, is you definitely should be able to get at least both halves, right? Because theoretically, if you got the first half, you should be able to do the second one, right? So if that is going to be the case, Mochi, there has to be a W here for TARINGBABI. There might not be any W's there on their team name, but we might see it on the end screen.
Sure, lots of management that they had to do here, to say the least. Salvatore, like a single half will be enough for that, but it is indeed some growth. But we also have Protons and El Compe, which is unfortunately we have one already being subbed out here. But Protons and El Compe, well, they can dish out jabs here, El. And do you think that they'll be playing a huge part here against Team Stallions?
Oh yeah, definitely. Protons is a wild card player here for the side of TARINGBABI. You know that sometimes he tries to go for the lurks, sometimes it's Penjahat, sometimes it's El Compe, but nevertheless, whoever it is, they are successful. But somewhat successful is what I'm trying to say here, because of course, versus other teams, it's very, very difficult to find your timing, especially if you're just basing it off, oh, wait, my team is already moving on the other side of the map. Maybe I should start moving. Oh, wait, my team is stuck. Maybe I should be the one to create an entry. You do not need to rely on these standard timings. Create your own play, and if we are going to see that idea, it has to come out from these two, because if they don't, well, it's going to be a closeout from the Stallion squad.
Yeah, exactly. And now that McRae is out, well, there might be a strong chance that Protons and Compe would be as aggressive as before. And being able to do their own plays will just leave lesser ways for unpredictability that is going to be done here by Team Stallions. And now let's talk about Team Stallions themselves, because one name stands in their way. Actually, just not Kano, actually everyone. But again, this kid is just insane as ever, they do.
You just have to talk about Kano whenever we're featuring Team Stallions, right? No matter what matchup it is, Kano stands tall. And the numbers reflect it. He's the only player rated at a higher than 1 kill per round in the entirety of Masters. Mochi has got the second highest KD next to Cetra only. And what else can I say about Kano? He's touted as the best player in Southeast Asia, best player in the Philippines. Some even say he's in contention as the greatest of all time in the rest and the entirety of CROSSFIRE stars, but some say it's too early to tell. He's a generational talent, that's for sure.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, that is all no longer an argument. I guess he just keeps on appearing and just ensuring that everyone will be surprised by his performance, and he's willing to do that time and time again. And that is why I feel like we should no longer wait, because we're gonna head onto the action now. So let us now hand it over to Gian and as well as Jose for our game time. And then
Whoa!
na.
Thanks ever so much, Micaela. Alright, let's go. Let's get straight at it. Gene, also known as L in the caster desk. My name is Zayn. I'm here for our second matchup of the day. It's TARINGBABI going up against Team Stallions. And L, here's the thing. Let me ask you from the lens of a coach. If you were the coach of TARINGBABI and you're facing up against the best team in the region, how would you view this matchup? How would you approach this matchup, knowing the odds and knowing... let's stay realistic here. How would you approach this matchup?
I wouldn't say to them that boys, just have fun. No, I would tell them to be an open book, right? An open, empty book wherein it's going to be Stallions that are writing the notes for them. Yeah, sure, make the most mistakes you can, because these mistakes, as much as you are trying to do your best, right, Stallions will find a way to show you your mistakes. And if you write them all down in just this match, right, I feel like it's going to be a good learning experience from them. Take a page out from veterans. They had Stallions as their first map, and look where they are right now, almost beating Atras in a set and getting our hopes high for the Rosea region, right? I feel like for TARINGBABI, this sequence of events and their matches is kind of poor, like it's really unlucky for them, because if they had Stallions at the start of the season, I feel like we can see an uptick in terms of their improvement, much better than veterans. But yeah, I feel like as from a coaching perspective for Kanjiro, right? Shout out to TARINGBABI's coach Kanjiro. I would say to your boys, just be an open book. Try to do your best and then learn from every single mistake being thrown at you.
Absolutely, and I would definitely agree with that sentiment here, El. Stallions is as much as Virtus.pro likes to claim the title as the most strategic team in Southeast Asia, Stallions definitely still has very solid structure, right? Particularly in maps like Ankara, where they do have a lot of those lineups and set plays. And the BL side, ideally, is where they start here in Ankara.
Partai kali ya?
Dia smoking mid ya.
Yeah.
Flash ke top ah? Lagi flash. Flashing ko. Top.
I like it. So far, one down already here for TARINGBABI. That's revenge for you. Usually, weeks prior, right, he had the highest KD, but they had some tough matches. His KD and his rating all across the board dipped down, but yeah, he's trying to get that back. We're gonna execute towards Ado.
Oliel Compe on the top side, and he's easily dealt with by Revenge, pumping up the KD even further. And there's the third, almost connecting. It's gonna repeat, of course, L. And Penchat can try and run away from that one. But Revenge had already set up camp in exit, L. And he's found a kill onto Jimby. It's all up to Protons now. KLB, surprise, will be rocking the AK. Is Team Stallions attempting a new meta in weaponry also?
Maybe they're just testing things out. You know, KLB, he's gonna try things out. But it's not like the usual Philippines versus a match wherein they use all kinds of guns, even the Scarlet and the Lewis guns, right? They're gonna test it seriously, and known for testing the waters here, will secure the entrance of Hotel. This might be a split towards B for Stallions, but looky, there's no one on site B for TARINGBABI.
It's clear. There's not even a single person there. Stallions just gonna take advantage of that. Look at this. The map is as quiet as can be. Kano not even needing utility. No flash necessary as he picks up Jangar from RS. Loy pick up Jimby in the process as well. And look at Loy with an exploration on the map. Seems like Stallions are not gonna mimic Virtus.pro. Remember when Virtus.pro played against TARINGBABI, they still liked playing the map, but Stallions are just playing the duels. And they will oblige TARINGBABI of the lessons. This is how you aim with a USP, says Revenge.
Yeah, and I would like to expand on that topic between the contrast on Stallions and Virtus.pro, right? If you're thinking that Virtus.pro is the most strategic team, yes, but Stallions, on a different note, they're the most punishing team. Any mistake you do, you will be punished. And Compe, not gonna get punished on that one. Can't he find another?
Okay. I mean, he finds JJ, but it's Jangar to find KLB. Kano somehow has climbed bridge already, and Loyan in bypass has bypassed the defense of TARINGBABI. It's all falling apart, especially in that B side. Kano, free entry, and Penja Hat unaware that his side can be seen. Nice little trade out from Protons, actually, to keep TARINGBABI at play here, but it'll be easily dealt with by Kano. Already 5 kills on the board, Revenge and Kano. And you have to think, at this point, at this point in Revenge's career, does he have the sort of mentality of getting back into the game? You think Lewis Hamilton, right? Does he think that he still got it? Does he need his Spanish Grand Prix sort of return to form game?
I feel like he does, but JJ up and coming here on the board. Well, you know, let's talk away from Revenge. Let's talk about Jangar.
Sure.
And
Jangar's dead.
Never mind. Let's talk about Loy.
Still alive. And he's lurking. Loy's still lurking around the map. I mean, what else is there to say? Loy's got a double. And Penja Hat is just holding on to the TRG, holding on for dear life. C4 timer dwindling down. And 20 seconds is plenty of time to be spotted by the players of STS. Look at Kano. He's on the hunt, man. Seems like there is a competition ongoing between Loy, Kano, and Revenge. They're all racking up the kills at the moment they hear Penja had, they will converge. JJ with a shot on the AK, and that is STS up to 4.
Exactly. Let's go back to your contrast, right? With the drivers. I feel like you can say that he's not technically Lewis Hamilton. He has a persona. And he's on a good team, he is Lewis Hamilton. If he's on a bad team, he's more like Fernando Alonso in the current stage of his career. But JJ looking like a brand new kid with that AK. They're trying the Virtus Pro method. I like it, but Jimby is prepared for this hit here in Room A.
Well, he is. He finds revenge. But JJ is quick to trade it out. Again, TARINGBABI leaving that A site with only one person. And SDS seems to have gotten the read right every single time as Loy gets taken down by Protons. What I mean by that is SDS seems to always find the site with only one player, KLB. Needs the support. Actually does not need any support. He gets the 180 flick going onto Jangar. The C4 is in a site, and Benjahat has no clue that JJ is all alone. He could have gotten control of the bomb, but he decided to rotate, and he decided to walk into the crosshair of Kano. 5-0 SDS.
Yeah, I mean, well, nothing to be said there for trying, but every single move they're trying to do, punished. If you're going to go here, we're gonna go here. If you're going to kill one guy from us, we're gonna kill two from you. Deal? And I feel like they're accepting that deal every single time. SDS just not punishing in terms of their mechanics, in terms of their gameplay, right? That whatever you do, you need to have a backup plan squared, right? You need to have like 4 backup plans in case it doesn't happen. But no backup plans for him. He's just gonna go ahead with the first one.
And Alcompe is going to be the second target here for KLB. TARINGBABI, I kind of feel like they're moving across the map a little bit too much here. If they had just anchored their sights, could have fared better. Just like that from Penja. Just holding exit and catching Kano off guard. And there you go, LD. He moves again. And it's straight into the hands of KLB. It seems like you're right. When it comes to punishment, SDS will deliver. And the last person to punish is going to be Jimby. 1v3, L. How do you take this one? PvP.
Nah, I don't feel like there's anything to play here for the side of Jimmy. Wait, no, he's gonna try for one. He's gonna try for two more revenge. Okay, almost.
Okay.
You got me revving up my engine here, but nah. I've been told that I will not start the race. We're gonna be still in the pit stop here. Stallions though still outlapping every single member of TARINGBABI, and Jimby is the first one to go.
Jimby feeling confident off of that one, but in the face of Kano, confidence means absolutely not. And look at SDS, all 5 players with contact-heavy weapons. KLB with the Colt, and all it takes is 1 bullet. My god, that's disgusting. And JJ doesn't need no tap walks, he's just gonna jump straight into the face of Benjahat. And that's the second tap for KLB. Protons gets a taste of his lead bullet. Stallions up to 7.
Big smile on the face of big boy KLB. Got me coughing even when there are no smokes being thrown in that round for Stallions. Because those shots, that's a Colt. And that's precision towards the head. Revenge though needing not to be precise but just accurate on the shot. El Compe down and high mid is taken by the boys in orange.
And look at TARINGBABI, they're actually moving in solidarity of their teammate across hotel. Nobody actually watching that area. The only moment of contact is if they go up to HM. Kano will be playing from up high, and Jangar will be going down low. 6 feet under to be precise. Protons going down as well. And it's just Kano on the hunt yet again. That's 11 on the board for the Wonder Kid. Jimby. Well, he's been feeling confident in the duels. Let's see what he's got. Revenge on his right. And Revenge just toys with his prey. Revenge.
Oh my goodness,
Don't
he's
do
gonna
this,
try to...
Revenge. Revenge! He gets the knife. Welcome to Tondo. But it's actually Cebu we're playing from. Stallions 8 on the board.
He's bringing that NCR violence. Condolences to you, TARINGBABI. And it looks like that is exactly the word that we can describe this Ankara set, because 8-0 might as well call it 9. And 9, he's not gonna stop here. Gonna go continue towards floor A. Jimmy tried to be the preventative measure. He's gonna get blown in the face, but not quite yet.
Revenge goes down, switching to the pistol in the worst moment. Revenge actually gets punished. But that is the trade back from JJ. Kano again unstoppable. in the pushback. Oh, KLB. Second shot yet again, just using one bullet to take away Penjahat, and Loy opens up that A site to regain the C4. Picks up the AK in the process. Protons, what can you do?
He can do smack dab nothing, Datum. Loy, he's bringing the knife out. He wants to peel some skins. He's only going to get tickled.
What?
And it ain't no funny matter. It ain't no laughing matter, the scoreline for TARINGBABI. It's worse than I expected. I thought they were gonna get some heroic rounds, like Penjahat getting something like a cheeky sniper kill versus
Ay,
Revenge,
yan, satu.
a Protons with a quick 1-2 on the headshots, but we have to listen in first.
Sige pa ako.
Ako mid, di kaya just do. Gibian ako.
Ilan ako? Ay, chim.
SDS just up for competition. Give me mid. Give me the fight. And TARINGBABI still actually approaching this with some semblance of a default. As they take control of mid, they can push towards CA if they want. Kano is the only one there. But can you really say that they think that Kano is the only one there?
Nah.
No, you can't. Loy up against the smoke. And GMB finds the memo being KLB! And that's a nasty shot on the Colt yet again. And that is a nasty game from SDS. 10-0. As quick as the game started, it is now over.
This is not the Grand Prix that we were talking about, Datum. This is the free practice, because Stallions made it look like one. And I feel like as much as we are trying to get the engine of TARINGBABI rolling, well, they're stuck in the pit walls. Their car is not running. Might be a busted engine, might be a flat tire, but nevertheless, it seems like Stallions just roaming free on this map. And another 10-0 on the board here. I believe it was Virtus Pro that was the first one to get a 10-0 versus Orsea. So, haha, I feel like some Stallions fans will stay salty on that one. But yeah, here you go. Here's your 10-0. TARINGBABI, come on, give me some life. Give me some action. Give me some... I'm gonna say the word stupid plays, because sometimes if you break the minds of Stallions in terms of the fighting, right? Oh, there's too many heads to shoot. They're not gonna be able to take you guys all down. Maybe you swan and then trade it out and you just go snowball. I did not see that. You tried to play Stallions in the default. You're gonna lose in the 1v1s because you know mechanically you're at a disadvantage. Why still play the standard game?
Exactly. And if TARINGBABI did not know that before this game, well, now they do. Now they know that they can't take him on head-to-head. So just, as you said, try something nasty. Try something else here for TARINGBABI. And I definitely agree with. I feel like they would have had better chances if they played this like an all-out RM game.
Yes.
And I see glimpses of that being possible. Jimby almost getting a win against Revenge on that one round where Revenge was the only player left standing with 1 HP. Had he hit that one stray bullet, he could have won a round for TARINGBABI. And I said this earlier as well. I mean, Jimby provides that extra layer of firepower that Makrai just doesn't have for the team. I say use Jimby more here, TARINGBABI, especially if we're going into sub-base. That's a map where you could definitely be more proactive and unpredictable.
As much as you want to say that, and you said that I feel like no matter which part of the toolbox that TARINGBABI uses, it's still not enough equipment to dismantle this Stallions team, right? I mean, sure, they're trying to do their best, but they're bringing hammers and nails against a what do you call this, a heavy equipment truck, right?
I mean, that's an analogy you can say, but I wonder if there's any analogies from our panelists, Mochi and Salvatore. What you got for us?
Thank you, Datum, and as well as L and Dude. They gotta play that F1 playlist here for TARINGBABI because they just lost their minds here in the map of Ankara, and unfortunately, they didn't even get a single round here, which is something which just shows how Team Stallions is really feeling themselves here against them.
Well, it kind of looks like TARINGBABI did not race, or the engine did not even start, or they just crashed and burned the moment that the first lap hit. So Team Stallions just finished the race with a bunch of seconds in their turbo, which I do believe it's not
It's
even
giving
seconds.
Red
I feel
Bull.
like it's just a whole damn minute for Team Stallions with a huge of a lead. I blinked my eyes when I opened. It's a finished Ankara. And mind I tell you, this is a map pick by TARINGBABI. And what did I say, Bochi, a while ago? Oh, Ankara is open. It's our map. Well, it's also a map for Team Stallions, which is a bad case here for TARINGBABI. And this was Team Stallions just kind of feel like it was Team Stallions. It's not we're looking at a bunch of players from Ubek Maniac who wanted to slack off. It's definitely 100% money back guarantee, delivery free Team Stallions, and it's kind of nice to see that. It's kind of refreshing that both Execration and Team Stallions are not backing down. They're not showing any signs of slowness. They're delivering 100% crossfire even when it's a team from outside their own region, and I feel like that should be the case for other teams as well. So first impression definitely lasted here for Team Stallions. How strong they started that first round, they definitely finished with a bang, Mochi.
What a promo, right? I mean, you can't help but to market it that way, especially if the product is this good. That is Team Stallions, where every single time they never fail to execute. Like, their engine is always an all-time high, even having that knife kill here from Revenge. And again here, for TARINGBABI, despite the fact that their efforts into trying to secure spaces here, it just doesn't work. They always get caught off guard. They don't have anyone else to trade them, or even on certain occasions, only a single person here from Team Stallions is all they need in order to remove multiple members. And this just gives a lot of avenue here for Team Stallions to do whatever they want. They're just doing whatever play that they want, which makes TARINGBABI so difficult to catch up or even catch their breath in the whole 10 rounds that they have played here. But again, I guess other than the lack of structure and as well as the experience, it just shows how Team Stallions has been able to be the perfect fit here in the map of Ankara. So nice try for TARINGBABI, but again, everything is just not just going their way, basically.
Yeah, it's a scenery that I feel like TARINGBABI does not want to tap because they just fully activated everyone here. Like, the moment TARINGBABI entered into the game, they were like, we should be ready. And then the first round finished, and then be like, are we actually ready? It feels like they're not, Ochi. They're not ready compared to SpongeBob, who is always ready. But take a look who's also ready here on the far side of our bracket. It's Team Stallions, who had a whopping 4 players who scored 100 of a rating. And by God, that's a sign of a team that dominated, Mochi. And I feel like there's no other description fitting for Team Stallions other than the complete domination. 4 100 ratings. Who is going to be the MVP? Those 4 players are already playing tug of war, 4-way style, and now we have Kano. And I don't even know how this man ended up being the MVP because, you know, can you at least give the opportunity to your other teammates to be the MVP? Because, my God, Kano, stop being good for at least once, right?
I mean, you already heard him earlier on. Like, he wants to secure an entire space just for himself, you know? It just states how competitive he is regardless of who he is facing up against. So here for Kano, well, set MVP is gonna be for him indeed. Even with a 71% headshot per kill, if I may say. And I mean, despite that, here for the rest of them is mostly 100% in terms of the rating. Here for TARINGBABI, it's quite the opposite, which is, again, quite sad to see. But I hope, and we're vouching that in our next map, they will be having a few rounds. So, ayo pergi, bangs, for TARINGBABI. Let's go, bros, and hopefully that you can adjust in the limited time that we have here for you, because later on we will see if you guys still stand a chance against Team Stallions. And for now, we're just gonna call on a quick break. Later on, it is still gonna be game time. Welcome back once again, everyone, and we are still here with the match of TARINGBABI against Team Stallions. Wherein earlier on, Team Stallions just demolished them, basically with a 10-0 scoreline in the map of Ankara. And with the hopes quite high here for TARINGBABI that they have better chances in the map, unfortunately, they've been immediately proven wrong by STS.
Well, TARINGBABI, I'm so sorry that you will remember this little hidden fact that a lot of people do not seem to remember, but this is the second time in the season of TARINGBABI that they got 10-0, and nobody speaks of that ill because it happened from both Virtus Pro and now Team Stallion. So nothing happened inside of Port and nothing happened inside of Ankara, Mochi. No one will speak of what happened inside of those two maps. from what TARINGBABI experienced. But, sub-base might just be a new beginning here for TARINGBABI, because Coach 02 said himself that they were once supporters of the EVOS Arcelia team. So TARINGBABI, they might just learn a thing or two on what the EVOS Arcelia models their gameplay to. So hopefully that will be the case here for their matchup. But TARINGBABI, hopes up, still there. They're still competing. They still have smiles on their faces, and they're very confident that this sub-base will definitely be a huge competition here for Team Stallions.
Yeah, that is true. And at the same time, though, here, I wonder if... I hope that we won't see another 10-0, hopefully. But again, this map, you already know that this is the signature, where the former Ubek Maniac has been well known for. So, TARINGBABI, I hope that you're clutching your fists ready to rumble here in the map of Sub-Base, because this is gonna be quite of a ride for you, and that is why it is time for us to hand it over to our casters, Datum and as well as El.
Thanks ever so much, Mochi and Salvatore. How will TARINGBABI fight back? El, that's the question.
I mean, first they gotta hold their guard very, very high, right? You hold the high guard, let Stallions take their swings, and then when they are tired from throwing all those jabs and hooks, then you find a way to counter attack, right? Maybe hit the gut, maybe hit the face, maybe hit the body, maybe even hit them when they're defending. But no matter what, they need to not stop hitting Stallions, because first of all, you are going into the fortress of sub-base of Stallions, right? That's 3 layers right there. And we have mentioned before that TARINGBABI, they are no slouch as well in this map. This is the map that they used to qualify from the Rosea qualifiers towards here on Masters. And I would like to see some flavors of that qualifier run here in the group stage against the worst, or rather the hardest opponent to do that on, right? So it's Stallion sub-base. I would be lying if I said I'm not expecting a 10-0 from Stallions here. Ooh. But yeah, I feel like the whole community knows it that, TARINGBABI needs to improve, but we need to give them comments and criticisms a bit easier, guys. Remember, this is their first time here, and we gotta give them some slack.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You have to remember, veteran, this is their second outing in Masters. TARINGBABI, this is their first. If you remember from the last Rosea outing, in their debut, it was Ritus that took their place. But it is sub-base. It's another opportunity for TARINGBABI. Let's see what they can do.
Beta G, Beta G.
Atin na kung patay lang. Mimid ako.
Putih. Balik. Satu. Satu.
Oh.
Jaga with an early fight out from Luwag. We'll be able to find Loy for that encounter, but look at this. STS actually pulling some macro. They're not gonna fight A-side.
They thought that they can hit them with the classic old 1-2. We try to fake A, then we go B, but no. TARINGBABI's not moving from their default, but still, their default is not for this exact play that the Stallions is doing. There's only one guy in DR here to defend, and it has to be from the shutter side for these TARINGBABI members to defend from.
Full-on split from Stallions. JJ already in second floor. As he spots out the VR player, that is Penja. And Complain finds Kano somehow, but JJ is unfazed. Neither is Revenge. KLB planting all the while this is happening. And Revenge now looking for Protons. And as we said, Protons could be that X factor that TARINGBABI is looking for. Not this time. Revenge shuts him down, and Stallions round 1.
Exactly. This is what you get from a Stallions sub-base. You're gonna see them faking A first and then going towards MR, and the MR straight it is.
Okay, Jimby will be taken down by Revenge, and Revenge is looking for more. Playing Whack-A-Mole, and Alcompe obliges. That's a nice shot on the HK. Oh, KLB. Another disgusting shot from the IGL as Kano plants the bomb in A site.
So far, 3v3. TARINGBABI, you need to move. Loy has the perfect angle to cancel the CR take, and this just might be quits for the round of Stallions.
From Vents, he strikes, and Loy finds the one, and he gets taken down by Penja. Actually, nice trading coming through from TARINGBABI. Down to a 2v2 now, but it is Kano and KLB. You can never count these players out. They're not even gonna peek. KLB will be getting another one tap on the board. That's all headshots for KLB.
At this point, they're just stat padding. That's why maybe they're just running around the map. But they're running around the map in sequence with a purpose and with attack. Jimby, the first up here on passage window, and he will go down. KLB,
God.
golden headshot, and they're not stopping here.
Oh, look at this! It's a Scarlight in the hands of Kano, and he makes it work. Again against Protons. Elcompe with a good hold this time. No, ditches the C4 as he's got a plan, and the plan is to run into the hands of Elcompe. Run into a site. Kano is still tapping away. Man, that gun sounds so weird. The Scarlight, as Jangar comes in from woods. And Revenge just knows exactly where he's coming from. SDS, quick 3-0.
You know what that sounds like, Datum? That Scarlight? It sounds like when a cardboard panel, right, hits the
You're flicking it.
blades. No, you're not flicking it. It hits the blades on your electric fan. For those who know, right? But Jimby's an over.
Yeah, he's gonna hear the sounds of the guns of the Scarlight of Kano and JJ's AK. JJ, nasty entry onto that ace site. Elcompe is next on the block, and JJ's just counting heads. Kano is gonna take part in the party as Kano pushes SDS to 4.
Okay, I need my computer to work because can we remember the last time a team got 2 10-0s in a best of 3? Please answer me. Reply quickly because they're fighting here on woods.
I don't think we've ever seen that here. At least not this year as Jimby goes down just outside of woods. He does trade JJ out, but it's just 4:1. Current conversion. There you go. Confirming that conversion is Loy with a 4-1 and Loy with the second kill to close out round number 5. It's a 5-0 for the Stallions.
They tried everything. They tried defaulting, they tried rushing, they tried pushing MR and woods. They're still the same effect. I feel like it's gonna be the same here with Kano.
Oh! K! Kano 2! NMR and KLB will be providing backup as if Kano needed that. Actually, he does, as Jangar takes him down with a sniper. But all the while, Protons is flanking Stallions from Luwag. JJ's already inside the site, not knowing where Protons is. He could go for a ninja defuse if he survives, but he does not. Now, JJ making it as stalwart as can be. Stallions, to answer your question, I don't think we've ever seen 2 consecutive 10-0s from any team in CFS Southeast Asia, so this might be a first from Stallions if they continue on, and JJ's continuing on. Elcompe finds back from MR, but Loy is just as good on the trade back. JJ finding a little bit of support for his teammate, and Jimby will be fighting Loy for that kill. Actually, 3 versus 3.
Wait.
Jangar finds the timing, and it's actually doable for TARINGBABI.
C4 down towards the entrance of passage. That means that technically TARINGBABI has the advantage of the situation here. KLB is just going to walk towards the C4 and take it clean as day. Okay, I expected too much from TARINGBABI and I expected too much already. Period. Jangar all alone, and he's just gonna go down to the golden headshot here delivered by JJ on the screen. Yeah, I feel like TARINGBABI, don't worry guys, I know it's like lose. Feel so desperately that you're right, yet to fail nonetheless. It's frightening and it turns the legs to jelly. And I hope that they can still run around the map with jelly legs because they still have 2 rounds to play in this half. But Loy says, nah, I'm a rock TRG. I'm gonna turn that jelly into my dessert. Protons with a trade. Yeah, 4v4 nonetheless.
4 Protons still staying alive in that A site. Revenge is hoping to challenge. He's not holding the sniper this time. So HK for Revenge.
Okay.
And he will take down Protons despite the flash. And what is this setup from SDS? They're flashing their teammates, but since we're getting into the site, Elcompe hoping to say otherwise, but it is just ineffective in the face of the Wonder Kid that is Kano on a 2v2 now. Actually doable until Kano shows up. That's a double for the Scarlight. That's a sentence I didn't think I'd say today, but Stallions pulling out all the stops.
KLB, if you want to flex your muscles, you don't put your elbow towards the camera, okay? But, yeah, sure, they can flex all they want, they deserve it. But Penjihat says, we want this to have a scoreline, not the egg staying, you know, uncracked. They want that one, but Protons is not gonna get his one on this round.
And Revenge is transitioned to the HK because he wants a piece of the pie here, that being the kills. Putting Loy rather, on HK or sniper duty. He's doing a pretty good job at it. Nicely
More
done on
than.
the double kill, Loy, and that's a bomb planted. Jangar will be spammed by the USP. That's 3 for Loy. And it's Benjahat, the 4th in the horizon. It's revenge to get it. 9-0 STS, looking to make it perfect.
Okay, another tidbit for our viewers. Earlier, the match between Veterans and Execration, that was technically the quickest match yet in C Masters. Both the games lasting only 15 minutes, total of 30 minutes. And the SCS have to break that record, but Jangar says, no, we want to prolong the fight, and they're gonna get the first blood here on their BL side.
Actually, the first time that TARINGBABI have found the first kill on Kupano. But Alcompe is unaware that Revenge peeks out. That's a nice flash, actually, from Revenge to set him up from that play. So, immediate trade of kills already, 4v4 here. A lot of slow plays being set up by TARINGBABI.
Exactly, because they know that even if they got the first kill, they got traded out, and in worse where Protons is very, very low. El Compe, the full HP guy, the first guy to die on their side. So, technically, they're 3.5 men. Quite literally walking around the map here. But you know what? Let's give them the benefit of the doubt. They have the space here on the entrance of LR. They have space towards passage. They can even go vents if they want to. But the problem is, SES is ready to receive, right? They are very, very welcoming homeowners here in Subbase, and they're trying to give them a warm welcome indeed.
KLB being the one to do that. The real estate agent is KLB. Trying to sell this B site. And Loy is the owner. He says, this house is not for sale. Jim B, get out of here. KLB pushing. Easy tap. Proton's unaware. Doesn't matter that he's 1 HP. He still gets headshot by the Colt. And even then, no matter how healthy you are, you're going down to the hands of KLB. Penjahat about to go down as well. KLB 2 on the board. And Jangar is just fighting against the dying of light. But it is bright as hell for Stallions. 10-0 in quick succession is Subbase.
Bright and white like the teeth I'm seeing on their face cams. And TARINGBABI, I mean, the room can't get any darker for some of their members playing in the low lights, but the victory is going to be highlighted here for Team Stallions 2-0. Quick succession, 10-0s, first ever to do it, and it's record time. If the last match, ladies and gentlemen, was 30 minutes all in all, 15%, I feel like we didn't even reach the 20-minute mark here, Daydom.
Probably. Protons. I mean, I like the idea here from TARINGBABI actually, L. They kind of listen to you. They put Protons in a very forward spot in majority of those rounds, and look at the results. I think Protons went 1-10 for the entirety of the game. That's what happens when you try and fight the duels against Team Stallions. I mean, all due respect to Protons, he's a very nasty attacker, but up against Team Stallions, you could definitely see a class difference. I mean, I feel like it's just a difference in fundamentals here. L and TARINGBABI, no matter what they threw against Team Stallions, it just fell apart in their faces. And as far as learning opportunities go, unfortunately, I feel like TARINGBABI hadn't had much to learn from that, apart from they need to sharpen their skills a little bit more, even on the dueling department.
It's like when your professor tells you that, okay, this is what you're gonna study, and then I expect you to put on a report, right? No teaching whatsoever. I know you guys had that kind of professor. Shout out to you guys for teaching barely anything. But I feel like even if with that analogy here for the side of TARINGBABI and Stallions, they actually taught them very well, right? Like, guys, if you're going to play against us, you cannot be static. That is how KLB got those headshots with the Cult. That is how Revenge was able to just outsnipe Penjahat. And that is how Loy, Kano, and everyone else, even JJ on team, just fragging out, getting that 100 rating on the PRS. And if you want to go even further, Daydom, we've heard news right from Ramon that the Veterans and the TARINGBABI have been swimming with great results. But when it comes to game time in the tournament in the official lobby, they suddenly freeze up. Call this one the stage fright, because I don't know what it is when it comes to the game time, when it comes to tournament rules, right, to the server, that TARINGBABI and somehow Veterans suddenly stops, suddenly freezes, and they can't just get their words out. It's like you're trying to perform an oratorium to the stage, but somehow you can't get your words out right. Stop this kind of mentality, TARINGBABI and of course Veterans, because if you want to beat the teams in the Philippines, you need to be like water, smooth, flowing to every direction that they go, and ready to make a splash on the leaderboard.
Absolutely. No, TARINGBABI definitely needs to adapt and catch up to the meta here that Team Stallions bring to the plate. But enough about us. Let's listen from Salvatore and Mochi what these guys have to say about the match.
Thank you, El, and as well as Daydom. And boy, oh boy, I just mentioned earlier on that I hope that this is not going to be another 10-0, but it just happened right now. And I would like to add more input regarding to what El has been able to mention earlier on. Well, yeah, I mean, they've managed to scrim against each other, but it's really important that they'll be exposed to PH teams more, because through that, they would be able to adjust faster and not just make the entire tournament as the primary point wherein they'll be experimenting and trying to stabilize certain things, especially when it comes to this certain caliber that they have to face against too.
Well, Mochi, this is definitely the season of breaking records. Execration defeating Team Stallions for their record winning in best of threes. Matches defeating Execration after their own win streak. Virtus.pro scoring the first 10-0 of the season, and now Team Stallions recorded the first ever back-to-back 10-0s. Okay, so can this season get any more spontaneous? I cannot even imagine what could even surpass double 10-0s, Mochi. But you know, nothing really to pick up on the game. It's so hard for me to even think what in the world is even a team play inside of that sub base, because it was just basically KLB swinging everybody and Penjahat just losing his mind, basically wondering, how do I even die? Like, how did I even die, basically? So it's kind of tough to see. It's kind of tough to look at. Mochi, if you're a TARINGBABI fan, I definitely applaud you. But if you stop watching the first 5 rounds, I will not definitely use that against you, because these are free real estate entries from Team Stallions on their BL. And then what you even notice is that they're not even using the quote-unquote optimal guns. But is it really unoptimal if it shoots you in the head and it instantly dies? I feel like that has been the case here for Team Stallions, because they can use literally any gun and it would still be good, because, you know, Revenge using the HK, Loy using the TRG, Kano using the Scarlight. There's nothing good to point out here other than it's a complete Team Stallions domination inside of their very own map deck. And this is what we expect, Mochi. If we ask how cool Team Stallions is inside of sub base, this is what we showed them.
Yep, this is the entirety that we can show to whoever's going to be asking that. Well, I was just about to point out the diversity that we have in terms of their loadouts as well. I mean, here for TARINGBABI, unfortunately, they haven't been able to do or get that much flexibility, because on their end, everyone is suffering, everyone's having a very hard time. But in the contrast, though, everyone here for Team Stallions has been able to rack up all of these kills. It's just a head tap in the lobby here, especially for KLB, who just had 1 death for the entirety of sub-base. And this just shows here the tenure that we have here for Team Stallions in the map of sub-base, and they're still right where we left it, and if not even better. It's like all of the pressure that they've been able to get here from the past few years just turned them into diamonds overall. But here for TARINGBABI, they're still undergoing that pressure, and if ever that we won't be able to handle that pressure well, they will shatter. And that's what we have witnessed for the whole series that we have here with them, which is not entirely a great sight, but it is quite of a canon event so that they can move forward. But here is our set MVP, no other than KLB, with a 9 KD. Oh, just 9s and 10s all over the place, Salvatore.
It's like he's an Olympic diver, Mochi. It's like we're scoring an Olympian diving from a 20-foot jump pad. And you said 9s and 10s? Well, take a look at this. He scored 9 KD. He scored a whopping 100% headshot per kill. 100%. The first, I hope not so many, because a 100% headshot per kill will absolutely lose its value because it's that common. But for a skillful player like KLB, I feel like he can definitely replicate that even with another opponent other than probably TARINGBABI. And why are we even showing this graphic, Mochi? That is scary, beyond scary, even scary. Yeah, painful. Like, it hurts here, everywhere in the part of the body, honestly. It definitely pains even to see that it happened Not once, but twice. But imagine it even happens on Eagle Eye as like a celebrity show match or something.
Yeah.
I'm expecting also another 10-0. But nonetheless, Team Stallions 10-0, nothing short of surprising out there. And
But
this
here
also
is
here is
the-
nothing short of surprising.
Yeah, exactly. Here is the guy who had the highest grade here for both of our maps. KLB with a total of 4 KD and still 100% in terms of our rating after racking up 75%. Our majority of our kills here for both maps is just the totality of 75. And I feel like KLB is having a really great time, if not obvious yet, for Ankara and as well as Subbase, because as much as we saw Kano earlier on, how he's been able to be monsters in the map of Ankara, KLB is still the beast himself, ensuring that every single time that they will be encountering even just subtle audio cues here, even some predictions and obvious reads here against TARINGBABI, well, he will be doing and getting the dirty job done, which just shows sometimes you don't need to actually direct your teammates. What you need is to do it yourself.
Well, Mochi, correct me if I'm wrong, historians and statisticians, but this has to be the first weekend that Kano was not crowned MVP. JJ had it yesterday, and then now we have KLB. So correct me if I'm wrong on that one, but finally we see other than Kano who is rocking the MVP chair right now. And later on we'll be asking some pretty good old questions here for our boy KL Boy, who really had a number inside of Subbase. I feel like what we saw on Ankara was just the tip of the iceberg, and now we reach Subbase. That was definitely 20 feet below of iceberg levels right there. So yeah, congratulations to Team Stallions for, well, this is kind of a sarcastic, but it's an unsurprising 10-0 for 2 sets of Team Stallions.
Exactly. And here for TARINGBABI though, I hope that we can see more of them really soon despite of the struggles that they faced in this particular matchup. Pero mukhang ito na rin yung oras para tayo ay bumalik sa ating nakagisnang lengguwahe, no, Salvatore, dahil sa ngayon magkakaroon na tayo ng chance para interview ang ating representative, our match MVP, the IGL himself, KLB, dito sa ating desk. Hello KLB! Congratulations sa iyong match MVP, no?
Thank you po, thank you po.
Namin dito sa ating interview. Grabe, no? 4.00 ang iyong KD. At mukhang may mga katanungan si Salvatore sa'yo.
No? Ano bang trip nyo? Ba't yung 10-0 dalawa yun?
Grabe kayo.
Wala nilaro
Ano bang klaseng Team Stallions? Anong klaseng Team Stallions ba yung nakita namin sa Ankara at Subbase? Kasi di ko akakalain na mati-10-0 nyo pareho yun eh. Parang ine-expect ko na baka pwede pa sila dumikit o makakuha man lang na isang round. Pero grabe. KLB, Loy, dumediretso sa kung saan pwedeng angulo, tas hine-headshot nyo sila lahat. Anong klaseng Stallions ba ang nakita namin sa dalawang sets na yun, KLB?
Wala, planado na talaga yun 18-0 namin para may goal kasi kami.
Which is, ano bang goal na yan, KLB?
Kunin namin yung top seed.
Gusto pa nila mag-number 1, Mochi. Okay, I like that, KLB. Wait. I mean, syempre, para may buy slot kagad sa playoffs no? Hindi ka masisisi si KLB dito.
Totoo naman, no? Siyempre, advantage is an advantage, no? And the round differential, every round matters, kumbaga, no? Yung pinaparating din dito ni KLB. Pero KLB, ano ba yung na-observe din natin dito, no, sa ating Rosie team? Kasi, binanggit na rin ni Salvatore na puro headshot. And mukhang basang-basa nyo itong si TARINGBABI. Pwede bang bigyan nyo sila ng notes sa kung ano kaya yung mga pwede pa nilang pag-igihan dito para makapag-improve din sila?
Wala, di ko alam Siguro magbatak siguro sila. Tapos mag-practice ng strategy.
Alright, tama naman
The
din, no?
Ubik Maniac way.
Oh, the Ubik Maniac way. Papakapalila yung playbook natin. Pero, KLB, eto tinanong ko to kay JJ last time. Pero hindi niya nasagot. Ang katanungan ko at the time is, gaano ka playoffs ready ang Team Stallions? At paano niya nasabing playoffs ready na ang Team Stallions? Pwede bang marinig ang sagot ng ating kapitan?
Hala, sobrang ready na kami. Na lang, tingnan nyo na lang sa playoffs kung anong mga galawan.
Yung
Yung nagusto ko marinig yan. Ngayon, ito ang pinakamalapit na tanong kay LB. Sabi mo, playoffs ready ka. Syempre, mag-i-EWC ka. Ngayon, gaano ka-confident si KLB na kayang ipanalo ni Team Stallions ang EWC?
Yan.
101%.
Woo! Narinig mo ba yun? All Gamers, Baisha Gaming, Evolution Power, narinig mo ba yun? KLB na mismo nagsabi. Talagang nagbigay pa
Maganda
ng
na lang sila
butal.
kasi bawing-bawi kami sa kanila eh.
Yo!
Gigil na
Nagbigay pa
gigil
ng
na.
butal. Mochi.
Sure, gigil na yan, no? And kami rin, no, excited na namin kayong makita, no? Oras na tumapak tayo dito sa ating EWC. Pero, ngayon, KLB, congrats muli. And the floor is yours. Shoutout mo na yung mga gusto mong i-shoutout and yung mga supporters, of course.
Shoutout na lang sa pamilya ko at saka sa girlfriend ko. At saka kay Kuya Chris, kay Coach Tanks at saka kay Ate Lizelle. Yun lang po. At sa mga fans din namin, yan lang po. At saka sa mga casters din.
Okay.
Sa mga panel.
Yun! Ay! Lumabot puso mo doon. Shoutout sa'yo, Boss Ken.
Yun.
Tama na. Ito, binabati. Pala yung kapatid mo.
Kapatid. May mga hahabol ka pa, KLB, yun na lahat ng shoutout natin.
Yan na po. Salamat.
Alright, maraming salamat KLB, no? At maraming salamat sa kabuuan ng Team Stallions. And congrats! Looking forward sa mga susunod niyo pang mga laban.
Thank you po.
Alright, and shoutout sa iyo din, no? Madam Kiseo, no? Super sweet lagi sa akin. And grabe, no? Salvatore, ang linis, 10-0, pareho, 2-0. At sinabi na 101% silang ready sumagupa sa EWC. Yan yung gusto nating marinig sa kanila.
And that is kung makapag-EWC ang Team Stallions. Kasi parang eto na ata yung season, no, Mochi, na a lot of speculations na, pwede silang makasabit doon sa playoffs, to. Pero with what from kung ano man yung naririnig natin dito kay KLB, parang garantisabog naman talaga na magpa-playoffs nga sila, even appearing at the Grand Finals and securing that EWC, no, para dito sa Pilipinas, no. So nakaka-excite nga naman na makita yon for Team Stallions. Kaya huge shoutout to the management of Team Stallions, no, for raising these kids very well, no. The competitive spirit is still there. Grabe nga naman talaga to the bossings, no, Brother Abdul, Brother Khaled, no. Grabe, man, you raise these players right kasi nandoon pa rin talaga the spirit of competition of Team Stallions. Man, it does not die.
Yeah, it does not indeed, no. Undying talaga yung nagiging rage and yung hunger nitong ating mga players, no, na talagang pag-igihan ang kanilang performance every single time. At natapos na tayo sa dalawang Rosea and as well as Execration and Team Stallions, at mamamaya magkikita tayo para sa tapatan ng Forbid against Atras. Kaya kung ako sa inyo, wag muna kayong aalis, magbe-break at magpapahinga lang tayo saglit, pero mamaya bakbakan na ulit.